Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is one of my favorite videos to film, and that is a favorites video, and specifically a favorites video for my entire year of 2018. This was like really easy because all of the stuff that have been my favorites over the last year are like in my top drawer. They're the things that I reach for the most, so they're like sitting on my vanity. Like I didn't have to go into my makeup collection to find them. So I literally just pulled out the things that I've been using over and over and over this year, and I wanted to share them with you. I have some high-end options, some drugstore options that I've really been enjoying, and let's get into the video. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me here. I'm so glad to have you here. I hope that if you are not new to my channel, you will consider subscribing. If you like this video, hit the little bell because YouTube will not notify you about videos that I post unless you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button. So without any further ado, let's get into my favorites for 2018. The first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is primers, and I have a bunch of different primers that I want to talk to you about because I find that throughout the year, throughout the different seasons, I have different favorites depending on what I'm doing with my skin that day. So my first favorite is the Too Faced Peach, what's it called? Primed and Peachy Primer. This is my favorite primer when I'm not wearing any foundation. So every single day when I go to work, I don't wear foundation. So I like to wear this just with no makeup. All I wear is concealer and powder over it. It keeps me mattified. It perfects my skin. I really love it. I would totally repurchase this when I run out of it. It is my everyday go-to primer, and I particularly think it looks great just without any foundation over it. So that is my number one choice on the days that I don't wear foundation. In the summer, my favorite primer was the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Mattifier, and this is a really interesting product. You actually have to like press it into your skin. You can't rub it around, but you press it into your skin and it just keeps you from being shiny. This is a perfect primer for somebody who has oily skin, and especially in the summer months. I have not been using this in the winter because my skin is more dry. I am just not as oily, but for summers, especially like if you live in a humid environment like San Antonio, this is like an awesome primer. The last primer I wanted to talk to you guys about is a new favorite. This is my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I absolutely think this is the most luxurious primer there is. I mentioned in a recent video that the company touts all these different kind of skincare benefits from this primer, and I really don't know that it is going to be like beneficial for your skin, but it certainly makes your makeup look beautiful. When I put this on under any foundation, it makes the foundation look more beautiful, more seamless, and my skin look more perfected. I think this is the most stunning product. It is super expensive, but I think it's worth it because I just think it's got the most beautiful texture. It's kind of a little difficult to get out of the pan because you got to rub your fingers in it. It does come with like a little spatula, but I just put my finger in it and rub it around my face. But the results, you guys, are so beautiful. I can't recommend this primer enough. Okay, so moving on to foundations. My favorite two high-end foundations for the year were my Lancome Tient Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. This is a mattifying foundation. I have it in two shades, a summer shade and a winter shade. My summer shade is 270 Bis, I think that's Bisque, and then I have 160 Ivory, and that is my winter shade. Love this foundation. It is long wearing. It's so perfecting. I think it's undetectable on the skin. I can't say enough about it. It's totally worth the price point. I mean, if I have like a summer and a winter color, I really like that foundation. The other foundation that I loved this year was the Dior Backstage foundation. I think that this, when you apply it with a beauty blender, especially over this, it looks amazing. It just looks like your skin, but just a perfected version of your skin. I think you can build it up. I tend to wear my foundation really light to medium, but I think that if you wanted like a higher coverage, you could probably build it up. But I just think it's the most beautiful, natural looking foundation, which is the look that I'm always going for. So I've really enjoyed that foundation. And then for my drugstore favorite for this year, my CoverGirl Clean Matte Foundation. I think this is the second year in a row that this has been a favorite for the year. I love this foundation. It is like $6. They call it a BB cream. I think it's just a light foundation that perfects your skin. It mattifies your skin. It is perfect for the hot summer months. This is not drying in the winter months, so I would wear this in the winter as well. I love this foundation. I hope they never, ever get rid of it. CoverGirl, don't ever get rid of this if you happen to see this video, which you probably won't. But I love this stuff. It's so good. So good. Okay. moving on to concealers. So I had a couple of favorite concealers this year, again, for different needs. So when I was going for a more like full coverage, perfected look, my favorite concealer was still the Tarte Shape Tape. I did think for a little while that this might be a dupe, that a dupe for this might be the Makeup Revolution. You guys know what I'm talking about. I will write it at the bottom of the screen, the Makeup Revolution concealer, but I actually think that this wears better. It doesn't crease as much and it perfects my under eyes more. So this is still a favorite. I was really happy to see that they're making these in like smaller containers, because who needs a container this huge? But this really is the best full coverage concealer as far as I'm concerned, still even a year later. So this is like the second year in a row, I think, that this is my favorite concealer when I'm looking for really perfected high coverage. And then for everyday, I have two favorite concealers. I think you guys are not going to be surprised because I've probably mentioned these 1,000 times on my channel. One of them is the Maybelline Fit Me, and one of them is the Maybelline Age Rewind. I'm about to drop it. These two are like my workhorses. I use them every single day. I just put them on my one or the other. I'm either using this one or this one. I've used the Age Rewind in several different colors. I have the shade in Fair, which is more of a pinky tone. I've also had the really pink one, which is the color correcting one. The shade that I wear in the Maybelline Fit Me is also 15 Fair, and I just use these every day. When I go to work and I don't wear foundation, I just put a little bit of this on my cheeks and under my eyes to cover up my bags, which are forever present with my work schedule. And I love the way they work. They're so beautiful. I would never waste my money on higher end concealers because I think that they are so fabulous, you guys. Favorites, favorites, favorites for every single day when I'm just looking for a natural coverage. What comes next in the makeup routine? Powder. So this year for powder, I had three favorites. The first favorite is my Bye Bye Pores. You guys know that I love my Bye Bye Pores powder. This is my second pan of it. And I love this for setting under my eyes, for setting my face. It is a very light setting powder. It does not give you a lot of coverage. So if you're looking for something that gives you a lot of coverage, this is probably going to be more of a finishing powder, and you would want to go for something more like Laura Mercier setting powder. But it's just a beautiful skin perfecting, pore perfecting powder that is not too mattifying, so it doesn't make your skin look flat. And I just think it's beautiful, and it works really, really well for under my eyes. The second powder that I've loved this year, I shouldn't say this year, in the last month, it's brand new, but I like love it and I have to mention it in my favorites, is this Charlotte, it's like so dirty already because I've been using it so much, is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade Fair. Again, it's just beautiful for setting your under eyes, setting your whole face. It just perfects the skin. I can't say enough about this. I raved about it in my November favorites. It's such a great powder. I totally think it's worth the price point. And then lastly, a powder that I've been using a ton this year is the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I really, really like this for setting my under eyes, and on a day that I just don't want like a ton of makeup on my face or a makeup-y looking look, and I just want to kind of throw something on my face, I really like this powder. I think it kind of takes away the shine. It's very light. It's a little bit perfecting. And I just think it's a really, really nice powder. You know, a lot of the time when I'm going to work, I'm just looking for a really natural look. I'm not looking for like something super heavy. So all of these powders, these three powders that have been in my top drawer all year, are lightweight powders that you can either set a foundation with and act as finishing powders, or, you know, most days when I go to work, I'll just throw them over my face, over my concealer, and they're just kind of mattifying and perfecting. So I've loved these three powders. I'll link all of this below, by the way, for you guys. Okay, so moving on to bronzers. My favorite bronzer is still, this is second year in a row, my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's a matte bronzer. I just feel like it gives my face a little bit of color. I always put it on every single day. I just kind of dust my face with it, and it brings a little bit of life back to my pale skin. It's in the shade Light, which is perfect for like fair skin tones. I've had it forever. I literally use it every day, and I've like not even hit pan on it. I really love this product. Like, I wonder if it even smells like chocolate anymore. Let me smell it. Hold on. It barely smells like chocolate anymore because I've had it for a couple of years, and I never hit pan, even though I use it like every single day. I just love, love, love it. And then my favorite contour powder, nobody is going to be surprised to hear, is my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder in the shade Light. If you are fair-skinned, you guys, this is like the best sculpting powder ever. I contour my nose every day just to make it look thinner. Even when I'm like just doing my minimal makeup for work, I'll like just run the contour brush along my nose to make it look a little bit thinner. If you want to like a more contoured look, it's beautiful for the cheekbones. I used a little bit of it today for this video. This is just the best bronzing powder as far, I'm sorry, sculpting powder as far as I'm concerned. I think it blends well, and I just think that the cool toned grayish brownish color is absolutely perfect for contouring. Okay, so next in the routine is blush. So my two favorite blushes for this year that have been sitting in my top drawer are my Marc Jacobs blush in Night Fever and Hot Stuff. I'm gonna show it to you. Such a like nice packaging, you guys. It's just this beautiful rosy tone and it looks gorgeous. It's got the teeniest bit of like a satiny feel, so when you put it on your lips, will you listen to me? When you put it on your cheeks, it's got a little bit of a glowy feel. It doesn't have any shimmer, it doesn't have any glitter, but it's got a satiny finish, so it does have a teeny bit of a glow when you put it on, and I just absolutely love this color. If you are pale like me, do not let this like intimidate you. It's such a gorgeous blush. I'm very interested actually in trying other shades of this blush because I really think it's such a gorgeous product. And then the other blush that I just use all the time because it goes with any eye look is Exposed by Tarte. This is such an oldie but a goodie. I have been using it like forever and it never hits pan. It just lasts forever. It's just a great neutral blush that goes with any eye look, any lip look, and just brings a little bit of life to your cheeks. I love it. It's kind of like a dusty rose, like a dusty mauve rose. Great kind of everyday staple blush. So good. Okay, moving on to highlighters. I think we're on highlighters. My two most used highlighters from this year are my Becca highlighter in Vanilla Quartz. I think I got this like last year this time. And you know, nobody ever makes sense in highlighters, but I've actually made a dent in this highlighter. If you can see in the middle, that's how much I use it. It's the most gorgeous goldy champagne-y color. And it just looks so beautiful on the skin. It's beautiful. I just put it on the top of my nose and on my cheeks, and I really, this is probably in my top two highlighters of all time because it's so stunning on the face. So Vanilla Quartz, I feel like nobody talks about this shade, and I think it's maybe like a newer range, like shade to the range in the last year or so, but it is so stunning. I highly recommend it if you have a skin tone that's similar to mine. Like, look at that glow. It's so beautiful. And then the second one that I've been using like nonstop, especially in the last few months, is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. You guys, this is such like an OG product. It's so good, and it's a little bit more of a bronzy shade than the Vanilla Quartz that I just showed you guys. It's a teeny bit more natural, but it's also so beautiful. Let's see if you can see it here. It's got a tiny bit more of a bronzy feel to it, so it's really beautiful all year round, and I wear it all the time. I love it. These two highlighters are, I think, my all-time two favorite highlighters. Love them. Let's move on to eyes. So, for eyes, my favorite eyeshadow primer that I've gone through like 2 tubes this year is my Milani eyeshadow primer. This is such a great primer. I feel like it's a dupe for the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. It's from the drugstore. Like, what more could you want? It's so good. I also have to give a shout out to my Too Faced glitter glue because I use this all the time. Whenever I'm doing like an eye look with an eyeshadow and I really want the eyeshadow to pop on my lid, I just tap a little bit of this on my lid before I put the shimmery color, and it just makes the shimmer pop so much. So even though it's called glitter glue, I use it for shimmer and I use it all the time, and I absolutely think it makes any shimmer shadow that you have just like glow and pop, and it's so beautiful. It's just a great product, you guys. It's so awesome, and I pretty much never wear glitter, so it's just an amazing product even for shimmer. Let's talk about my favorite eyeliners. So you guys know this is not going to come as any surprise to anybody. My favorite eyeliners are the Smashbox Always Sharp eyeliners. I have them in every color. This is only 4 of them, but I literally think I have every color in the range. They're so good. They're a staple. I wear them every day. They're just workhorses that sit in my drawer. I always like kind of just line right at my lash line to make my lashes look thicker. They're the best pencils. They have a sharpener in their lid, and so every time you open it, it is sharp. I mean, and they stay on all day. They do not smudge. They do not budge. They're The best pencils ever. I have no idea why everybody doesn't talk about them on YouTube, but these are the best pencils of life if you are looking for a great like pencil. Smashbox, Eversharp, love them. For tight lining now, my favorite pencils for the year have been the Ardell Wanna Get Lucky gel liners. You guys, there is basically nothing that will stay in my waterlines. Like if I want to tight line my upper lashes or tight line my lower waterline, basically everything will end up transferring to below my eyes. These are the exception. These Ardell pencils stay in your waterline. They do not move. They're $10 at Sally. I think now Ulta is carrying them as well. And they don't have a huge range of colors, but they do have black, they do have brown, and they do have a white. I actually put the white on my lower rim today, and I kind of thought it looked crazy. It looked a little bright. So I took it off, but the black and the brown, if you want to tight line, it will stay on. Like literally, I have to take a Q-tip with like makeup remover and like remove it from my waterline at the end of the night because it just does not budge. Best pencils for lining your waterline. I can't rave enough about them, you guys. Check them out. Okay. My favorite mascaras for this year, I have a drugstore group for you and I have a high-end group for you. My favorite drugstore mascara combo is my L'Oreal Voluminous Primer with my Rocket Volume. You guys have heard me talk about these products over and over again. You guys, this mascara, it's so good. I'm dropping things because I'm getting so excited. I cannot say enough about this mascara. It never, like I never, ever see like a drop, like a fleck of black on my face after I put this mascara on. My beloved IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which I'm about to talk about next, even that sometimes will flake onto my face. I never ever see a flake with this Rocket Volume by Maybelline. This is such an awesome volumizing mascara, guys. If you've never tried it, this combo, so good. So the next combo that's kind of higher end is my Lancome CILS Booster XL. It's also like a lash primer, and my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I love the combination of them. That is what I am wearing on my eyelashes today. It just makes my eyelashes look so super lengthened and just long, and it doesn't take, for both the Rocket Volume and the IT Cosmetics, I don't have patience to like build up mascara. Like I don't have patience to like sit there for like, you know, over and over and over. Like it just does it so quickly, and it's just a great product. Like you get a lot of bang for your buck with just a couple of swipes. So both of these mascaras are great for that reason. And then both of the primers are really great for just adding volume and texture to your lashes. So really love these products, you guys. My for sure favorite brow product this year is my Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. This is like a perfect shade for my brows. I'm not into Insta brows. I just like to fill in my brows where I have like bald patches, and it's the perfect shade. Like it matches my hair and my brows like exactly. And I just love it. It did have a spoolie on the back, but it broke. But I love it because the spoolie, like if once you've kind of like done your little wisps, the spoolie just like makes everything like meld together. It's like perfection. This is the best thing ever. I like love it. So let's move on to eyeshadow palettes. So there are a lot of palettes, because who can really pick one favorite palette for the year? So I wanted to share with you a couple of my favorites and explain to you why I feel like they're my favorites. So my favorite small palette, easy to travel with, easy to take with me, like just a great palette for the second year in a row, is my Theory palette in the shade Cashmere. I'm not going to talk a lot about this because you guys have heard me talking about this on my channel like over and over and over again. The quality of these shadows is awesome. I love the cool brown nature of this palette. I think that these shimmers are amazing. I'm really into shimmers that really shimmer and mattes that really blend, and this palette is just, it's the best everyday palette. It's the best travel palette. It's 6 pans, and it's perfection as far as I am concerned. The next palette that was just like a daily workhorse for me this year, like if you guys have been on my channel for a long time, you know that like a lot of the time when I go to work, I was using like my ColourPop eyeshadows just to pop on my lids. But since I've been buying so many eyeshadow palettes in like the last 6 or 8 months, well, I was on a no-buy. And during my no-buy, I was trying to use my old eyeshadow palettes. And then in the last 2 months, I've been on like a shopping spree. And so I'm trying to use all my old palettes. And so I've stopped using my ColourPop every day, and my workhorse palettes are the ones that I'm about to talk about. The first one is my Persona palette. You guys have heard me talk about this. It's just the best palette. The color story in this palette is perfection. The quality of the shadows is perfection. You have cool colors, you have warm colors, you have plums. The shimmers are incredible. I think that Sona Gasparian, she couldn't have done a better job with this palette. It is absolutely unbelievable. One of the best palettes on the market. If you are looking for a perfection palette, look no further than this, guys. It's the best palette. I love it so much. It's just like an everyday perfect palette. And then the other just workhorse everyday neutral eye palette that you can just throw on and go to work. The colors are not too dark. They're just perfection, is my Lorac Pro Palette 3. I know you guys don't hear me talk about this because it's not the most interesting palette in the world, but the color scheme in here, you guys, it's just perfect. You've got some cool colored crease tones. You have a couple of darker ones if you want to use darker colors, which I almost never do when I'm going to work. I just use these really neutral tones for my crease. And then the shimmers are all so beautiful. And this is just the easiest everyday perfection palette. The shimmers are like just amazing. The mattes blend so well. It's like I said, it's not the most exciting palette in the world, but if you're just looking for like an everyday workhorse, like I don't have to think at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm like putting on my makeup and I pull out this palette. I just pull out my palette, I throw on some eyeshadow, and it always looks beautiful. The shimmers look amazing. They pop. They make my eyes look bright. It wakes me up. I think this is a very underrated palette. I think that for people that are just looking for like neutral eye looks that don't want greens and blues and, you know, colors that you can't wear every day to a normal job, this is a perfect palette for you. So I love this palette. It is one of my all-time favorites. I'll never declutter it. I love it, love it, love it. You guys know I love Anastasia. It's one of my favorite formulas, and all three of these palettes came out this year, and so I had to have all three. I love the Norvina. I'm so happy that like companies are coming out with like cool toned eyeshadow palettes this year. It's like been the rage this holiday season. And you guys know that I love my cool toned shadows, and this is a beautiful cool toned shadow palette by Anastasia. I love the colors that she chose. I just think it is so well done. I love the soft glam. I wore this all spring and all summer. These are the most wearable colors, the most wearable tones. And you guys know that Anastasia shadows are like in the top 3 of my favorite formula. It's probably my top favorite formula. That the Viseart and the Persona are my favorite formulas. Like it's just, this is such a beautiful palette, and I feel like no matter what your skin tone is, everybody can wear this. The colors are not crazy. The shimmers are beautiful. They don't, like, you don't get glitter fall out on your face. It is just such a fabulous palette. So don't forget about this with all the hype of all the new palettes from the new year. And then lastly, the Sultry palette. As I said before, I love cool tones. This is such a great everyday cool tone palette. The shimmers you can amp up if you want to use glitter glue, or you can just use them like for every day. I can't say enough about this beautiful Sultry palette. And then my last 2 favorite palettes for the year are my Pat McGrath palette in the Platinum Bronze. I just think that the colors in this shadow are so beautiful. And I think that the quality of the Pat McGrath shadows are so gorgeous. These are everyday shades. They're all shimmer. There's no glitter. They're so wearable. And they're just stunning, stunning shadows. Actually, there's one matte right here. Just beautiful, beautiful shadows. So if you have been intimidated by like the editorial nature of Pat McGrath shadows and you want to try her shadows, look at the Platinum Bronze palette because the colors are so wearable and so beautiful, you guys. Okay, lastly is my Lorac Mega Pro. I typically am not going for big eyeshadow palettes lately because it's just overwhelming for me, but I think this palette was one of the best palettes that came out this year. I think it was this year. I hope it's still this year. If it's not, it's still one of my favorite palettes. And it's because I just think that the colors are all so wearable. They're wearable kind of sagey greens. They're wearable kind of unicorn like purples. There are browns. There are cool tones. There are warm tones. I just think that of all the Mega Pro palettes, this is the most exciting to use. And I think that all the colors are wearable. Like probably the only one that might be tough for me to wear would be this green moss color. But even like this sage color, Like, it really looks beautiful on the eye. I really think you can do such a variety of beautiful looks, and I know we're gonna be coming into spring, and so I wanted to mention this palette, and I also wanted to mention that I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. I have one of these palettes to give away to one of you guys. I will leave instructions for the giveaway in the description box below. You guys have been so wonderful and supportive and amazing, and everybody's so lovely. I always get such nice comments. I know people talk about getting really mean comments, and I think like in the whole 2 years I've had my channel, I've had like 1 mean comment or 2. So I just really appreciate how kind everybody is, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank you by giving away this awesome palette that I think is going to be really, really fun and kind of inspirational as we move out of these winter months into the spring months coming up ahead. So look below, enter the giveaway for this palette. Okay, so that is eyes. I think we talked about everything eyes. Now let's move on to, I'm getting lots of texts. Oh, I forgot to mention my lower mascara for my lower lashes. My favorite is still my Maybelline Lash Discovery. It's got this tiny little wand, and it is absolutely perfect for getting those little lower lashes, but not like building them up and getting them like all chunky and gross. It just makes them look really beautiful and full. So love this mascara. Okay, moving on to lip products. For me, this has been the year of the gloss. And I think I've been using like a ton of gloss because I've been more into like doing different eye looks, and it's too much when I do like a big eye look and a lot of lipstick. So I've been using like gloss more than lipstick just to kind of tone down my look when I have like a lot going on with my eyes. And so my favorite lip glosses this year, high-end, are the Huda Beauty lip glosses. That is the 2nd year in a row. These were my favorite last year too. I think that these lip glosses are so comfortable. They are so beautiful. I'm not gonna swatch them all for you because it'll just make this video really long. But I love the Huda lip glosses. I think they're gorgeous. Some of them do have shimmer. Some of them have like a pearl finish. I think they call them lip toppers, but I wear them, you know, on top of like other lipsticks, and I also wear them alone. I love them. I just think they're so comfortable. They're not sticky, they're moisturizing, and they're beautiful. And then nobody is gonna be surprised to hear that my favorite, oh, wait, let me back up. My other favorite high-end lip gloss is my Marc Jacobs lip gloss, which is like sits in my purse like all the time, 24 hours a day, in the shade Cream and Sugar. It is the most gorgeous, just light pink with a little bit of a gold shift. And it's just, I think it's the perfect lip gloss color. I absolutely love it. It's great alone. I mean, I wear lip gloss alone most of the time. And it's just got a gorgeous sheen, and it's a gorgeous lip gloss, and it is worth the price tag. It's so good. And then now getting to my favorite lip glosses of the year, which are my Almay Goddess glosses, and I have every shade, yes, because that is how much I love them. These Goddess glosses by Almay are like $7.99 if you go to, sorry, I just kicked my camera. If you go to Walmart, they're $7.99. If you go to Ulta, which has a little bit, I think, more of a color selection, they are $9.99, but you know, Ulta always has like $3 coupons, so you can get them for that price at Ulta. I have every shade. I love them. I think that they're the most moisturizing, beautiful lip glosses. My favorite color by far is Cosmic, and this is it. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. It's a gorgeous shimmery brown. I know you guys have like seen me swatching this and talking about it ad nauseum, so I'm not gonna go on and on. But that is one of my favorite colors. The other one of my favorite colors, interestingly, is this gold. It actually, like if you line your lips with a pink liner, it looks so super pretty over the pink liner. It looks really gold, like when you just put it on your hand, but if you put it over pink, it just looks so beautiful. It's gorgeous. Take my word for it, guys. Beautiful, beautiful lip gloss. I can't say enough about these. They are not sticky. They are not tacky. They are moisturizing. They bring a little bit of life to your face. They're just awesome. Okay, my camera just cut me off, so let me pick up where I left off. I'm almost at the end of this video. A close second to my Maybelline Goddess glosses are my Makeup Revolution lip glosses. I have 2 shades. One of them is Luxurious and one of them is Exquisite. This peachy gold one right here is Luxurious, and this pink one, this pink one up here is Exquisite. And the Exquisite is kind of like a little bit similar to the Cream and Sugar from Marc Jacobs. So if you guys don't want to pay for the Marc Jacobs one, I think that this one, this Makeup Revolution one in Exquisite is really, really similar. It's kind of like a pink with a goldy shift. Super, super pretty. These are very, very comfortable. They're like like almost as nice as the Almay Goddess glosses. They're so great, and they're like $6, you guys, like the best price ever. And then lastly, I just wanted to give a shout out to my favorite lip liners. So I always have talked about how much I love drugstore lip liners because I don't think it's worth spending a lot of money on high-end lip liners, but I do want to give a shout out to my Bobbi Brown lip liners. I was going through like old makeup and trying to use up some of my older products, and I found my Bobbi Brown lip liners from like before I started a YouTube channel and started trying like every lip liner under the sun. They really are the most beautiful lip liners. They are so gorgeous. They're so creamy. They have the most beautiful color shades, and I just really enjoy them. If you don't want to pay for the Bobbi Brown price tag, a really close dupe to these are the NYX lip liners. They're not exactly the same, but they're almost the same, and for a fraction of the price. So the Bobbi Brown lip liner are definitely my favorite for the year. The color that I've been using is actually discontinued, so I'm not even gonna go into that, but they are beautiful, a beautiful formula. And then the NYX liners would be my favorite for my drugstore lip liners. So lastly, I wanted to talk about the two lipsticks that have been my favorite lipsticks for the year, and those would be my Milani lipsticks. I love the formula of the Milani lipsticks. My very favorite shade for the year is kind of a newer release, and it's called Naked, and this is actually it. I'm wearing it on my lips. It's kind of like a nude, Your Lips But Better, kind of cooler toned pink or a mauve, and it's just a really beautiful color. I love the formula of the Milani lipsticks. The price point is so good. They smell so good. So I would definitely say that the Milani for this year, when I'm not wearing lip gloss, have been the lipsticks that I reach for the most. So you guys, that wraps up this very long favorites for 2018 video. Please stay tuned because I am going to upload my favorite hair and skin products in the next few days as well, because I want to share my favorite skin and hair products with you too. So thank you so much for tuning into this really long video. Please don't forget to enter the giveaway, especially if you have made it to the end of this video. Details will be linked in the description box below. I will also link all of these products in the description box below. I hope everybody is having a safe and wonderful holiday season, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Bye guys.